day and welcome back to Mana Ministries, where we let the Bible interpret the Bible. So previously we looked at Daniel 5 and how the rule of the principalities changed. So this week we can look at Daniel 6, and there's another example of these principalities. Now we know the story well. Daniel gets accused. The only way for these satraps and men under Daniel to get something against him would have to be, with his God, because they know that he's a staunch believer in his God, and he prays often, and nothing hinders him from reaching out to God and praying. And they set their trap in this. And Daniel, knowing full well that there's a written decree that nobody may pray to any other god except Darius, um, still goes and he prays 3 times a day. That just shows us his commitment and his spirituality, not considering the consequences, but being faithful to his God. So Daniel gets arrested, seeing as once the king makes a rule according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, it cannot be reversed. That thing is set in stone. And this bothers Darius because Darius is um, fond of Daniel because he's always had it in his mind to appoint Daniel above all of these satraps because, he has a spirit of excellence. So, Daniel gets arrested and it bothers Darius, and Darius looks for ways to free Daniel. But unfortunately, there's no way, and Daniel gets put into the lion's den and it's sealed, and even the mark of Darius goes on the seal. And but Darius, knowing a little bit of Daniel, says, maybe your God will save you, because you pray to him completely and every day and continually. And obviously Darius didn't have a good night, and the next morning he rushes to the lion's den only to find that Daniel is alive and well. So what happened? Daniel says, look, I've been found faithful in the eyes of God, and God sent his angel to shut the mouth of the lions. So what lesson is there in that for us? What does that show us? Well, this, that the principalities often are spoken of as lions. Even Satan himself in the New Testament is mentioned as a lion. We know that Jesus is the main principality. He's God in the flesh, and he is seen also as the Lion of Judah. But God makes it clear, and he says that these lions, these principalities, he speaks of them in the prophets. They will not rule and reign over us forever. In fact, he says in the book of Nahum that we as doves will rule these lions, and they will obey our command. So you can imagine this thing where a dove gives an order to a lion and the lion obeys. Um, so that night, what happened, when the angel locked up the mouth of the lions, that gives us an example of what is to come, of us ruling over these principalities, and these principalities not having any authority over us. Because Daniel was found faithful, these lions were not able to act against Daniel. So it's a spiritual picture for us to see that even though they are lions and we are doves, they cannot act against us if we are found faithful. If we walk in the authority that God gives us. And Daniel serves as a perfect example of that. The book of Daniel says that Daniel was beloved by God because he was such a staunch believer and found Daniel to be faithful. That's why he granted him wisdom and spirit of understanding. These are all spirits of God. So the spirits of the principalities could not move against the Spirit of God. God also makes it clear in the book of Zechariah. He says, if he is for us, who can be against us? And he says, we will not do by might or by power, but by his Holy Spirit. And we can see that happening clearly in Daniel 6, where God sends his angel to lock up the mouths of these lions. And they could not act against Daniel. Now, if one would think fleshly, one could argue maybe these lions were hungry. Not hungry, they were fed. We see it daily, on TV, and men working with lions and playing with them. But these lions were hungry because the very men that accused Daniel, when they and their families were thrown into the pit, they were destroyed instantly. They were tore apart in pieces even before they could reach the bottom. So this was a definite miracle where God sent His angel, and the angel blocked the mouths of these lions. And it's a symbol for us to see that these principalities, if we are found faithful, will have no power over us. Till next time, God bless.
Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button. Let us take you deeper into the revelations of God. Keep on watching.